Hey, welcome back. I am really glad you're here. Today, I want to talk about something simple, but don't confuse simple with small, because this simple thing can change everything. I'm talking about your daily habits, the things you do every day without thinking, the small actions, the routines, the choices that seem unimportant. But when repeated over time, they shape your entire life. It's funny, right? We dream of big things. We want success. We want happiness. We want to feel proud of ourselves. But we often look for shortcuts. We search for motivation. We wait for the perfect moment. We want that one big breakthrough. But life doesn't work like that. Real change doesn't happen in a single day. It happens slowly. It happens quietly. It happens in the small decisions you make every single day. You don't become disciplined overnight. You don't become successful after one good week. You don't get healthy from one salad or one workout. And you don't become wise after one book. Everything that matters takes time, and time is built on your habits, the things you repeat, the things you commit to, the things you do even when no one is watching. That's where your power is. Let me tell you something important. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be strong every day, but you do need to show up, even when it's boring, even when you're tired, even when it feels slow, because that's when it matters most. Habits are like planting seeds. You don't see results right away, but if you keep watering them, if you keep showing up, one day you'll look back and realize you changed, your life changed, but you didn't notice it happening because it was quiet, it was slow, it was daily, and that's the beauty of it. People will say things like, "You're so lucky," or "You're so talented." They won't see the early mornings. They won't see the skip-in parties. They won't see the lonely nights, the hours of practice, the small decisions. But you will, because you lived it. The truth is, habits build character. They create trust in yourself. When you say, "I'll do it," and then you do it, you start to believe in yourself, not because you feel confident, but because you act with consistency. Confidence doesn't come from words. It comes from action, from repetition, from proving to yourself that you keep your promises. And that proof, it's built through habits. Maybe you want to write a book. Maybe you want to get in shape. Maybe you want to learn English or start a business or be a better parent. Whatever your goal is, it won't happen all at once. But if you create the right habit, if you write one page a day, if you train 3 times a week, if you study English for 15 minutes every morning, if you show love to your child every evening, those small actions will build something powerful. You won't notice it at first, but over time, it will grow, and one day it'll be your new normal. That's how transformation happens. Not from big, loud actions, but from quiet, consistent habits. And here's the key. You already have habits. Right now, you just might not be aware of them. The way you wake up, the first thing you check on your phone, what you eat, how you talk to yourself, how you react when things go wrong. All of those are habits. They're shaping you right now, every day. So the question is, are they helping you or are they hurting you? Because if you don't choose your habits will choose you, and not always in the way you want. But the good news is you can change them, not all at once, not by force, but slowly, with awareness, with intention, with patience. You don't need to flip your life upside down. You just need to make one small change and repeat it. And then once it feels natural, add another. That's how you take control. That's how you build momentum. Sometimes people ask, how do I stay motivated every day? But here's the truth, you won't. Motivation comes and goes. It's not reliable. It's like the weather. Some days it's sunny and some days it's not. You can't control it, but you don't need to because habits don't depend on motivation. They depend on decision. They depend on commitment. They depend on identity. You don't brush your teeth because you feel inspired. You do it because it's part of who you are. It's what you do. And that's how powerful habits can be. They become part of you. They become automatic. You don't think. You just do. Imagine this. You wake up and you don't have to force yourself to go for a walk. You just do it because it's part of your morning. You don't argue with yourself about studying. You sit down and open the book. No drama, no battle, just action. That's freedom. That's peace, and it starts with building habits that support who you want to become. You want to be healthy? Build habits that support that. You want to be focused? Build habits that reduce distraction. You want to be kind? Build habits that train compassion. It's not about changing your whole life in a day. It's about small steps, daily steps, because habits don't just shape what you do, they shape how you see yourself. If you write every morning, even for 10 minutes, you start to say, I'm a writer. If you go to the gym, even when you're tired, you say, I'm someone who takes care of my body. And that identity, that's powerful because your identity drives your behavior and your behavior reinforces your identity. It's a loop, a good one if you use it right, but of course it's not always easy. Building new habits takes effort. In the beginning, your brain resists. It wants comfort. It wants what's familiar. So when you try to change, it pushes back. That's normal. That's not failure. That's just part of the process. The first few days are exciting. You feel hopeful, but then the excitement fades. That's when most people quit. Not because they're weak, but because they expect it to feel good all the time. And it won't. Sometimes doing the right thing feels boring. It feels hard. It feels invisible. But that's exactly when you need to stay with it. Because just on the other side of that discomfort is growth, is progress, is pride. And you only get there if you keep going. You don't need to go fast. You just need to not stop. Let's be honest. You'll mess up. You'll skip days. You'll have setbacks. That's part of being human. But habits are not about perfection. They're about consistency. You can miss a day. Just don't miss two. You can fall off track. Just get back on. Don't wait. Don't punish yourself. Just return. Like nothing happened. Like brushing your teeth. You wouldn't say, I forgot yesterday, so I'll quit forever. You just do it again and again until it's normal. There's something beautiful about habits. They give you control. They remind you that your life is not built in a single moment. It's built in repetition, in effort, in showing up even when it's hard. That's what builds strength. That's what builds peace. You don't have to change your whole life right now. Just start with one thing. One small thing. Do it every day, no matter what. Make it part of who you are, and then watch what happens. Sometimes we think we need a huge plan, a big vision, a perfect strategy, but most of the time what we really need is a little discipline, a little patience, a little faith. Faith that if you do something small and you do it often, it will grow. It will lead somewhere. It will matter. Think about it. Every person you admire, every skill you wish you had, every version of yourself you dream of becoming, it all comes down to habits. That artist you love, that speaker you follow, that athlete you respect. They didn't just appear one day. They practiced repeatedly. They failed repeatedly. They built routines repeatedly, even when they didn't feel like it. That's the secret. Not talent, not luck, just habits. And you have access to that power too. Right now, today, you can start a habit that changes your life. You can decide that today is the day you begin, not because everything is perfect, but because you're ready, ready to take control, ready to stop waiting, ready to show up for yourself. Remember this, you don't need to feel confident, you just need to act. The confidence will come later. You don't need to be strong every day. You just need to keep showing up. That's how you build strength. You are not your mistakes. You are not your past. You are what you do now, in this moment, with this choice. So start small. Start simple. Choose one habit that supports your future. Stick with it. Give it time. Don't quit. Let it become part of you. Let it shape your days. Let it guide your path. That's how you change your life. Thank you for spending this time with me. I really hope this episode helped you see things differently. I hope it reminded you of your power, the quiet power that lives in your daily actions. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider subscribing to this podcast. Leave a comment if something here spoke to you, and share it with a friend who might need this message today. That helps us grow. That helps us reach more people. That helps this community stay alive. You're listening to English Edge. I'm John, and I'll see you in the next episode.